Okay, so to toe heel downshift, you use the left edge of your right foot on the right edge of the brake pedal, and you slow the car down that way. When the car is sufficiently slow, you use your left foot to push down the clutch pedal, and use your right hand to shift the gear to the next lower gear. Then, to speed up the engine, you either uh, roll your right edge, the right edge of your right foot, onto the gas pedal, or you pick up the right edge of your right foot and you rotate it counterclockwise and tap the lower part of the gas pedal. Um, the engine will, uh, the engine speed will rise, peak, and then fall. And somewhere around the peak, you'll release the clutch pedal. And if the engine speed matches the wheel speed, you'll have shifted into the lower gear without unbalancing the chassis, without making the car's nose dive or the wheels slip or slide. Um, this works best, I guess, if you have a fairly firm brake pedal, so that you have um, something firm to balance your foot against when you pivot or kick. If you have a lot of control over your leg, say you're strapped into the chair, or you're just really strong, uh, you should be able to do this with even a soft brake pedal. But if you have a soft brake pedal, there's something else that might work better. Um, you can clutchless shift and left foot brake. If the brake pedal is soft, it's pretty easy to control precisely with your left foot, and then you can change the balance of the chassis uh, pretty easily between the brake pedal and the gas pedal. Um, and because you can do that, you can control the track of the car through the turn really well. So what you do when you're shifting is, for shifting up, you use your left foot on the clutch. But when you're preparing for a turn and you want to shift down, you've got your left foot over the brake, and I think you do it this way. You let your foot up, and when you're neither accelerating nor decelerating, you slip the gear lever out of gear, because there'll be no pressure on the between the input shaft and the output shaft. Um, then when you're in neutral, you blip the throttle with your right foot. The engine speed will rise, peak, and begin to fall, and the output shaft speed will also rise, peak, and fall with the engine speed. Around the peak, you'll slip the gear gently into the next lower gear. Now, I haven't done this, but I haven't done this, but I have seen it done, so I'm pretty sure that it's possible. And apparently, if you do it gently, there's very little damage done. Some people, this is controversial because some people claim that you'll do all kinds of damage to your meshers in your gearbox by doing this, and other people claim that if you do it properly, you won't. I don't know which one is true. Uh, the advantage of doing it this way is that your left foot never needs to leave the brake. If you're toe heeling and left foot braking, then your left foot will need to leave the brake for the clutch, and then while your right foot rests on the brake. And when you're done using the brake with your right foot, you'll have to shift your left foot back. That's a little more work, and although I've seen video of people doing it, I've even seen video of one person using his right foot on the clutch and left foot on the brake, which is astounding. The simplest thing, I think, is to keep your left foot on the brake, your right foot on the gas, and to shift without the clutch. So that's pretty much a breakdown of clutchless left foot braking and toe heeling. The only thing left is double clutching. To double clutch downshift, and I'll separate this from toe heeling for a moment. You push the clutch in, shift out of your gear. When the gear shift is in the neutral position, raise the clutch again so it engages the input shaft with the engine. You step on the gas, spinning up both the engine and the input shaft. Then step on the clutch and shift the gear lever into the next gear, whether it be higher or lower, and you'll have your engine speed. Well, okay, if you're blipping the throttle, you need to shift into the lower gear. Then your engine speed will match your wheel speed, and you release the clutch again once you've shifted into the lower gear, and your engine, your input shaft, and your output shaft and your wheels have all matched speed without any stress on the meshers in your transmission. You could do this to save the meshers. You could do this to make a very smooth shift. You could do this for fun. If you're going to toe heel with that, I suspect that you'll get a combination of double clutching and clutchless shift. That's to say, you'd raise your foot off the gas, and as it reaches neutral, you wouldn't have to do this, but it might save you a little time. As it reaches neutral, you would slip the transmission selector out of your gear into neutral, then tap your brake with your right foot, blip the throttle with your right foot. That would spin up the input shaft and the engine. Push in the clutch with your left foot, slip your transmission selector into the next lower gear, and then release the clutch. Then you'll have spun up the input shaft and matched it and the engine to the output shaft and the wheels. If you didn't want to do that, you would put your right foot on the brake. You would slow the car down, step on the clutch, shift your selector to neutral, release the clutch, flip the throttle. When the engine speed peaks, depress the clutch again, slip the gear shift lever into the next lower gear. If necessary, blip the throttle again, but it probably won't be. Maybe you could blip a little higher the first time, and then release the clutch. And that would be a double clutch downshift toe heel using the clutch all the way with no clutchless gear selection. So that's pretty much a synopsis of all the methods I'm currently aware of downshifting. You can double clutch and upshift too. You just don't blip the throttle. And I guess that's it.